Hello, hello. I'm George Chuchos.
And I'm Jordan Taylor. Welcome to the Gardening Gamble. Here are the ground rules. We take two sets of friends or relatives, both with a garden in need of a little innovation. We give them each a landscape designer, a carpenter, 2 days and $2,000 to work a minor miracle.
And we're going to shuffle the cards a little bit by getting our participants to swap houses. They're going to work on each other's gardens, and no one gets to see what each other's doing until the very end of the second day.
Right, and George and I will be lending a hand, each joining a team and making sure things get wrapped up on time. I'm on the yellow team this week with horticulturalist Jeff McCready and landscape expert David Hubers. We're working on the back garden of Christine Chu and Nestor Navarro. Let's meet them.
Well, I'm Nestor, and this is my wife, Christine, and we chose our backyard. Basically, when we moved in 3 years ago, it was a mess, and it's still a mess, so we thought, what a perfect opportunity for us.
We use our outdoor space to entertain a lot, patio, barbecues.
Right, have friends over, and the kids play outside, and I've even built ice rinks in the backyard in the winter time.
Yeah.
So it's a place for us to relax.
It's not very pleasing to the eye at the moment, so we kind of need a little bit of help in that regards for designing our space to look better.
Margaret is her older sister, one of her older sisters, all of which who have a green thumb. Margaret is the mother of all the sisters. She has
That's
great
right.
motherly instincts, and she can be a mother to anybody.
That's right. I'm a mother with 2 children. I'm still treated as the kid's sister.
Yeah, she's like your second mother.
That's right.
And her husband, Alan, is
Also like a father to our children, so we're totally comfortable with them working on a garden, especially because she's got a wonderful green thumb.
and Alan's great with the tools and building
That's
things, so
right,
we're not
and-
nervous at all about
That's right.
having them work on our backyard.
Okay, now it's my turn. I'm on the green team, and this week I'm working with landscaper Quentin Raffensberger.
That's a handle and a half.
I've known the guy 7 years. The first time I'm hearing that last name, I think
I
there's a
hope he
reason
can live
for
up
that.
to it.
Our carpenter, Chris Pinkerton, is with us again, and we'll be working on the home of Margaret and Alan Cheung. Here's what's on their mind right now.
Hello, my name is Margaret, and this is my husband Alan. We chose our backyard for the gardening gamble. I chose my backyard because it needed a little more upgrading, because I went back to work and I have no time for it.
We are using the backyard mostly for our family, like barbecue, and for the kid to a little space for them to play around. And my wife loved gardening, so most of the summer she spent all her days outside. So I guess when I have to look for her, I have to go outside too. So I guess I have to stay at the deck,
Basically, anything is fine with me. We are quite flexible. We easygoing, so anything would be fine. Of course, sometimes would like a water feature, which I always ask him to build, but he doesn't ever want to do it. No digging, he says.
Well, because I'm afraid of water, that's why. That's why I can't swim.
Oh, the other team is my sister and my brother-in-law. Their gardening skills, not so good, because she does have a green thumb, but she cannot tell you between a weed or a plant. And my brother-in-law thinks all perennials are weeds, so out it goes.
Well, I know they are not a very handy person when it comes to working in the garden and all that, but they are really educated, and they would like to try a lot of new stuff. So hopefully they don't turn our garden upside down, and we have a little space to enjoy later.
Okay, so the heat is on. Do you think our sisters are up for the pressure?
There's really only one way to find out, and that's by joining our team. So let's get cracking. Let's go get down to business.
Down to work right after
Yeah.
this.
Quentin, my friend, I got hired to host a gardening show, but I don't think it was for my actual gardening talents or skills, because if you were to ask me, this looks good. This looks all right.
Well, to the untrained eye, it does.
That's just fighting words.
Well, we're going to put your gardening skills to the test this weekend.
Okay.
We got a lot of work to do in 2 days. We're going to add some form, some flow, and some size to this bed. We're going to extend the bed out here around the trees, give it some depth, give it some creativity. We're going to add some height to this bed,
Right.
but as well we're going to do a little bit of trimming and keep some of the ornamentation.
Okay.
Okay?
right.
We got a 4-season garden going in, so it's got nice contrast through all 4 seasons, and we got a lot of ground cover that bloom at different times of the year to give some color for each season.
All right, that all sounds good and fine and dandy, but what are you going to be doing?
Well, I got to go see Chris, our resident carpenter,
Right.
have a coffee maybe,
Okay.
and I got to
coffee,
discuss
okay.
what kind of structure, because any good bed, any good landscape design has got form, but it's also got some hard structure.
All right.
So I'm going to go see him. Nestor's going to do some sod cutting, and Christine and George start tearing out these rocks.
Let's get cracking.
Sounds good to
Let's
me.
do it. See you in a bit.
Okay.
All right.
The yellow team.
Yes.
Here's the
What do we got?
Here's the blueprint, and we're going to be taking out this expansive weed bed that's behind you.
Wow, why?
Well, it's
It's so beautiful.
I think we can improve on this. I think we
okay.
can definitely improve on it. We're going to be putting in a nice seating area over here beside me, taking out some of these weeds in the grass and putting a nice area for them to sit on.
Are you keeping this retaining wall we're sitting on?
The retaining wall is going to stay. It's going to help hold the soil in because we're going to do some plantings up in that area of shrubs that are going to be tolerant of shade because it's very, very shady back here, which is nice to work in.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
No tan.
yeah, the varieties are tolerant of dry shade because these roots of these trees take all of the moisture out of the ground. So the trees that I've selected are going to take that.
And what's this
I see.
up in the corner?
Up in the corner, nice little sandbox for the kids.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, a little play area for them up there.
They're going to love it.
Yeah. I've got a water feature going in as well.
Wow.
There's a water feature going to go down in here and give a nice
Okay.
sound of moisture and
Say
water.
that in English. Is it a fountain? Is it a pond? What is it?
Is it a fountain or a pond? It's kind of a bit of both, but more a fountain.
Okay.
More a fountain, yes. And a couple of trees down here as well. So a sculptured evergreen and a nice Japanese maple.
Wow.
There's a lot of work to do. Are you ready?
Ready.
Ready to go?
Ready to go.
Ready.
Well,
Yes.
well, let's get at it.
All right.
Okay.
Quentin, the coffee's a good idea, but we should really be working. I mean, usually I got the plans, I know exactly what I'm doing. I have no idea here. I'm looking at this garden through George's untrained eye, and it looks good to me.
Looks good to everyone but me. I don't know how that works. But enjoy the coffee because I got a lot of work for you.
Okay, what are we doing?
Well, we're really deepening the bed. So the bed's going to come around the trees and give it some form and some flow, make it
Okay.
a lot deeper. But what I thought was maybe putting a nice round picnic bench around this.
Round picnic bench. What kind of budget do I have?
$200.
It'll be between 200 and a million, I think.
Wow. Okay. Why don't we compromise? How's
Okay.
this? Why don't we give it something a little different, maybe like an S shape, so it comes around, it hugs
Follows
the tree.
the-
Yeah,
follows the bed?
Follows the bed, and comes out. So the homeowner
Something
has something
simple.
something
We don't have
simple.
a lot of money because it's a
That's
lot
fair
of time
enough.
and money to make something round. So we can cheat
Well,
a little bit.
Let's cheat a bit then.
Okay.
Let's cheat a bit, and at least give it some style.
Okay.
Not your ordinary picnic bench.
The only thing I'm
something a
worried
little bit
about would
different.
be anchoring it in around these roots. So we'll have to come up with something when we get it.
We'll have
get
to come up with
stage.
that. You're the carpenter. You're the expert. I'll let you handle that, but I'm definitely going to get you busy.
Okay, there's the Brussels block.
Yeah, that's right where we need it, right in about this area.
So this is to edge the water feature,
Yeah.
which is going
It's going about
right
here.
about here.
Yeah, right in this
Okay.
area.
And then we're doing the patio here.
Patio's going to be over here. It's about 7x7 Bradstone slabs.
Great. So we'll have to strip all of that. Now, how high do you want the patio in relation to?
I think we got to come up about 6 inches.
Okay,
And-
just to help eliminate that slope a little
Right.
bit, and then we'll add the slope on that side.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Sounds good.
Yeah. So why don't we get going?
Okay.
Today is a sod cutter. Basically, this will enable you to lift the sod. It's got a nice long straight blade here, This blade will get underneath the sod. We can adjust the height.
Right.
So we don't take too much soil. We just want to get rid of the sod.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, I'm going to mark the outline of the bed.
Right.
And you're going to follow right behind me.
And I got to push this thing along, I guess?
No, it's self-propelled. It'll take you wherever you want to go. You just engage the clutch. I'll show you how it's done, and you follow right behind me.
Okay, let's go.
As the sod comes up, so do the plants. Christine saves what she can to replant later. And not to be left out, Chris starts working on his cutting-edge design for the bench.
Jeff,
Yes.
don't kill her roses. That's all she grew in her
Oh.
yard amongst the weeds.
Okay, well, what do you think
Can
about...
we save it?
Yeah, I think so. We could relocate it.
Okay.
Maybe to another sunnier spot.
Okay,
How's
great.
that? Yeah, we'll put it up in the sun, and it'll tend to
Okay.
bloom better than back here. So
All
I'll save
right,
that
thank
one. We'll
you.
get digging
All
the rest
right.
of this stuff out. Okay?
All right, let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Get rid of them. All these weeds.
Jeff, tell me, please, you're not leaving this as part of your beautiful design.
No, no. This was a little bonus that we found, and it's full of compost.
Compost.
Yes, compost. Usable compost.
And what are you going to do with it?
Well, I'm going to use the compost in the garden and then relocate the bin itself to another area.
Okay, I feel compelled to warn you what happened the last time. You didn't hear the last time
No.
we ran into a compost heap? Well, our carpenter tried to move it and a nest of bumblebees came flying
Oh,
out.
interesting.
So if you're moving that,
Yes.
I'm going to be far away. And make sure
Okay.
he does it. Don't
Okay.
you do it.
All right, Jeff, here you go.
Okay, Quinn, I made all these little pieces of pie with my jig to make the circles here. And that's sort of what our bench is going to look like. And the question I got for you is, do you want to make the straight pieces out of a square piece of wood, or do you just want to use the pieces of pie like we've got over here and flip-flop them so they make a straight line? I think that looks a little bit neater.
I think so too. I was just going to reiterate that. That's keep it consistent and keep it clean. I think it looks better that way.
Have you gotten very far back there?
No, no.
Oh,
I'm kidding.
I need some to prod you on.
You know
here.
what?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's what I need. Just what I need.
Yeah!
Awesome.
I can tell you
feel the
like
power?
that. See, most women like frilly dresses and jewelry, but not
me.
you.
Give me a power tool and I'm happy.
Oh, Quentin, I think I'm done with that.
You're done already,
Well, the roots are in the way. I think I pretty well got all I can get.
Okay. All right, not a problem.
So what should I do
machine's
next?
finished anyways. It's
Right.
backfiring now.
Okay.
Basically, I would grab a spade, help me finish up here, and then we're going to put down the fabric. Keep the weeds down.
Okay.
All right, so let's get started on that.
Okay, I'll go get a spade.
Hey, no bees?
No bees. Good
Okay.
compost, though.
Well, I brought a shovel. Maybe I'll help since
Okay.
there's no bees. Tell me something. What is that?
Well, that's something that shouldn't really be in your compost. That's a plastic
Plastic
pot,
flower
so that
bed.
really that doesn't help us. But there's a lot of good stuff in here.
Eggshells.
Yeah, I got eggshells. As they break down, crush them up, they become calcium
really?
for the plants. All the organic matter from the garden, either lawn clippings or old plants that have died off, annual plants, they break down and become food for the new plants that we're going to use this compost around. It's nice and friable, as they say, so it's great soil. It's great soil.
Okay, here's the screenings, Alan.
Okay.
Just dump it here.
What are we supposed to do?
Now you got to rake it all level, and we're going to try and cover the area from just about here back to here, and from here all the way back to that lip there.
Okay.
And so just rake it level. The screenings are in the front, so just keep bringing it until you have about 3 inches.
Okay.
And then give me a call and we'll come out and I'll show you how to tamp it.
Hey, Quentin, I've been kind of thinking, it's a slightly boxy. Can we kind of like maybe cut it out a little bit more, you know, give it a bit more organic look?
Sure. Should I take offense to that, or should I?
Don't,
Okay,
don't.
not a problem. We can
Thank you.
give it a little more curve. And,
Yeah, just a little bit more organic, just so it doesn't look so formal kind of thing.
Not a
Just,
problem.
you know, very natural, very nature.
You've become my best worker.
Thank you.
Leading the pack. Not a problem at all.
Quentin recruits Nestor to help him dig up the rest of the sod the old-fashioned way.
Meanwhile, on my side, the boys have brought out some heavy-duty machinery to make some hard work a lot easier.
I heard something about you checking up on her and her plants.
All the time.
How
I
are you
always
doing that?
sneak away when she's gone to work, weed her garden for her, and water her plants because she doesn't water her plants.
And you phone her? to
No. I have a key to her house, so I always come in.
Okay, but that's no good because she's not doing any work.
Well, if you have to have her work on the garden, they're all dead plants, just like worse than weeds.
Right, so you basically have 2 houses to work
Yeah.
So now
Okay,
we're ready
that
to
makes
start
sense.
laying the stones. You can see from the design, we've got a pattern happening here. So the first stone will start out one width away, which is about 17.5 inches, and then we'll alternate them. So I'll show
I
you.
see.
We'll
Okay.
place the first stone here. In line. We'll measure it out so it's about 17.5 inches. We got to come out a couple more inches. The next stone, butt up against here. And just get her set back there. And there we go. And now you can see these stones, there's a bit of a lip, and it's level here, but there's a bit of a lip here.
Okay,
These stones are not a perfect even thickness, so it makes it look more like a natural flagstone. So there's going to be a slight unevenness to the surface, but
Okay, so that's
kind of
okay?
the appeal of this. Yep.
All right.
Okay, so
Okay,
there's some more stones over there. You want to bring them over
Okay,
and
I
I'll start
will.
laying them down.
Well, we pretty well ripped out everything that was here. I hope the homeowners weren't too attached to what they planted. But you left this. Why is that?
Well, this is a beautiful specimen. It's a purple sand cherry. It's good for anywhere from a zone 3 to zone 7, really. It's very, very hardy. You can prune it any time of year, so you can prune it whenever it gets out of shape, and that's exactly what's happened.
They just let it go.
Yeah, they let it go. Basically, it's got to be brought down. So what I'm going to do is teach you
How to prune.
how to prune, do a
All
little
right.
trimming.
Okay.
Basically, on this, you can prune anywhere you want,
Okay.
and what I want you to do is bring it down to fence level and give it
Right.
a nice boxy look.
Okay. Well, I just saw Edward Scissorhands, so I'm inspired to do a little more.
Well, let's get you
Yeah?
pruning then, all right? Here's the
All right.
bypass pruners,
Okay.
and you can start by cutting from the top.
The bigger ones. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Do you think there should be a space in between though?
Well, I was thinking of that. If we put a space between them, then we have to route off the sharp corner here. And I set it all up, but I thought I was going to run out of time. But while you're here, you might as well do that, and I can continue cutting all the million pieces I need. So why don't I show you how to work the router, and then we can do that. We can get everything done. It's pretty easy. You just pick the best side of the wood. That's the pretty side. And then always go in this direction, whichever the arrow shows. So just turn the thing on. Push it through.
That's great. Let me
Isn't
give
that
it a
neat?
try.
And don't forget your safety glasses. I forgot mine, but no, you don't need
This will
them.
be okay.
That's great. I'll cut. You route.
All right, it's a deal.
Not to be shown up by Christine's carpentry skills, Nestor and I show Quentin that we know a thing or two about landscaping.
Okay, we've got the frame built for the water feature. We've got the sand lining it, and we're all set to put the liner in.
Okay.
We've cut the liner to approximately the right size. I hope it fits. Just put it in like this, and then tuck it slowly down in. We've got to make it sure it gets right down into each of the corners.
What's this liner make of?
It's made of a rubber product called EPDM. And it's a 40 mil thickness, so it's good and thick. You can feel it's not like just cheap plastic. It's a good heavy rubber liner. And it's also fish friendly. I know we're not going to be using fish in this location, but if you're building a pond that you're going to use fish in, you want to make sure you get EPDM rubber. Yep.
Okay.
So we've got it all. Now we've got to put the, this is the cage that's going to hide the pump. The pump's going to sit underneath, and we'll cut a hole through here for the fountain head to come out, and the rocks will sit on top. So let's slide this in, make sure. There we go, nice like that. Then this is where the natural stone will sit on the edge. And then we'll have the river stone sitting inside like that.
Oh.
You see, and then so the fountain will be bubbling up over, and these rocks will be covered in water, and it'll be splashing down through and recirculating that way.
That's going to look good, yeah?
Yeah, I think it's going to look really nice. You'll get a nice sound, and you'll see the water. There'll always be some movement going on.
I don't know where it's written somewhere that carpenters have to shovel dirt.
Well,
But I don't
maybe
see any
I'll help
wood
you
in
with
there.
some wood.
I don't see any wood in here.
You could teach me a few things, and I'll teach you a few things.
Well, you gonna teach me how to shovel?
Come on, Chris. Try to keep up. Yeah. Try to keep up, Chris. That little half wheelbarrow of yours. Oh.
Feeling a little loopy. We got some sun, but everything's good. Feeling good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, we're right on schedule too, and I hate to say that because it might jinx us, but everything went fairly according to plan, and we have a little water feature pond fountain thing going in, and that seems to be coming together well. So just let me touch your wooden bracelet for the knock on the head. Everything's going well tomorrow. I feel it in my bones.
Well, we'll find out soon enough because everything is going to happen tomorrow, right?
That's right.
Can I get out of here?
Get out!
Well, that's what our friend asked for. Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Yeah, it doesn't work with me. I don't know. I just don't like it too much.
It doesn't work with the flow of the garden.
No, not with the garden.
But you know what? The beauty of this triangle stuff is that we can make the curve whatever we want. So why don't we try and fiddle with it so that we can make the curve a little bit more shallow just by sticking in an opposite piece of triangle.
Yeah. I like, I'm very into this organic kind of thing where I like the flow of the land and I like to let it take its shape, use what's around to take its shape.
All right,
can we do something along those lines?
Let's move it around and we'll see what we can come up with and we'll try and match it to the edge of the grass here.
Yeah, that's a much better idea, I think.
Okay, let's try it.
Things are in good shape on my side as Dave puts the finishing touches on the water feature and Alan starts to work on the sandbar. Now, where is the water actually coming from?
Well, we filled it up with water from the tap, and it's just basically recirculating. The pump is sitting underneath the plastic crate and pumping the water up through and going back down.
So you don't need plumbing, which is a good thing.
No, you don't need plumbing. You just fill it up once, and then, every now and then in the summer when you get some evaporation, you may need to top it up, but that's all you need to do.
That's good to know because some people might think, sometimes when there's water shortages in the summer and you can only water at certain times, they'd be worried that
Oh no,
they have
this
to
is
leave it
just,
running
like I say, recirculating the same water from the reservoir.
That's great.
So can we have
Well, you came up with the design. If it's really tough, I'm going to make you make the decision.
So can we have maybe about a piece that goes about to here?
Well, it's going to be a little shorter than that because it's got to go into all these little curves you got. This is what I was telling you about the curves. So we have to have a piece come like to this part here, and then it'll stretch out and maybe hopefully pick that piece up.
Basically what we're doing is we're filling up the back space. I got Nestor to put in the silverleaf dogwoods because that provides a nice contrast with the different colors.
Right.
You're putting in the emerald cedars right here. We're going to give it a nice triangle effect. And what that does is it brings out the depth of this bed. So it's not just straight along the back fence line. We've created some depth, a little third dimension.
Bit by bit, Alan finishes the sandbox.
Oh, I think we got a problem, Dave.
What's that?
Well, my sandbox is coming down here in the stairs, but the walkway's kind of
Oh, I see. Okay.
too far this
so
way.
we didn't cut out far enough here.
I don't think so, no. Looks
Okay.
like we got to cut some more sod
Well,
out.
I know I took that measurement off of the plan from the back corner, so...
Well, maybe the plan wasn't quite to scale.
Okay, not a problem. So we'll take it out, what, maybe another 3 feet and just gradually arrange it here?
I think the stair's 3 feet, so
Yeah.
we should be good.
Okay, I'll get the spade.
Okay, I got some more plants to get.
While Jeff lends Dave a hand, I put the last coat of paint on the sandbox. I cannot believe the color. It's so bright I had to wear my shades.
What's this?
Do you like it?
Do I like it? Not what the doctor ordered.
Hey, we're not concerned about what the doctor ordered. We're concerned about...
I just kidding. I'm kidding. Honestly,
I know what my
Honestly,
sister
I
would
love
like,
it.
and
I
know
like
she
it.
does that.
no, really, actually, it looks really sharp. You guys did a really good job.
Well, don't say that till it's done.
Yeah.
Now we're ready to plant our standard euonymus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I chose this one for its size and hardiness.
Okay.
And it's a dwarf
Yeah.
tree, which will suit the size of the container.
Okay.
You know, and
But-
it's an evergreen.
Oh, but some people plant it straight in the ground.
Yeah, you can. You can plant it straight in the soil, but I thought that perhaps, you know, in a pot they could move it around if they like different locations for it. It
Okay.
would suit different locations.
Yeah.
It's an easy care tree, maybe pruning it once a season.
Yeah, okay.
And that's about it. They'll tolerate heavy shade or
Yeah.
full sun.
Oh,
either
okay.
or. So we can get
Yeah.
it into the soil now.
Oh,
We've got all of our insulation in there.
For the winter?
For the winter, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
you don't want the roots to freeze and thaw, so we line it with some styrofoam.
Okay.
I've got some stone in the bottom of the pot for drainage, as well as some holes drilled through to allow excess water to drain out, so
Okay.
the roots won't drown.
Okay.
And yeah, we
Let's
can.
plant.
Let's
Okay.
put her in there. Just place it in.
Okay.
Just pop this right in here.
Yeah, let's keep it nice and straight, and we're all set.
This looks a lot different than everything else.
Yeah, this is this is by far the nicest piece of ornamentation we're gonna plant today. This is my favorite, anyways.
Yeah.
It's dwarf Japanese maple.
Okay.
You can tell by looking at the leaves, it's a fern-style Japanese maple. They do
Right.
come in different variations,
Okay.
but unfortunately, it's very, very delicate and also very expensive. $250 for this specimen right here.
So it sounds like we got to take care of it.
Yeah,
I guess there's
big
some
time.
special requirements for
Yeah,
that.
I'm gonna pass on a little tip for you, and you're really gonna have to pass this on to your sister-in-law.
All right.
It has to be wrapped in burlap every fall for winterizing.
Okay.
But I don't want you to choke off the stems. I don't want your sister-in-law to choke off the stems. What she's gonna have to do is create a tent with some stakes around it.
Okay.
And just wrap the burlap around and the top, protecting it from the wind.
Okay.
Because this is good from zones 5 to 9, and we're in a zone 5 right now. So winter really wreaks havoc on a Japanese maple.
So we got to make sure it's covered and
You
not
have
exposed
to,
to.
have
All
to,
right.
and then you protect your investment, the most important thing. Because,
Okay.
as I said, for $250, you want to protect the costs that occur.
All right. So I'll pass that on to her.
Okay.
All right.
Come on, old man.
What was that?
Come on, this stuff is heavy. Ugh. Hey, that looks great.
Well, we'll say that when it's done, but I'm thinking we put our spikes on top of these,
Yeah.
bolt the whole thing with the legs, and pound the whole thing down together.
Oh,
And
yeah?
that might be a good way of aligning our posts, because that's going to be tricky to begin with.
As Jeff and Margaret get their fill of planters, Alan steps up to the task of building a set of stairs. So this is obviously a shady area, but
Very
what
shady.
other
It's also very
things?
dry.
It
This
is?
area, yeah. There's a lot of dry shade up here because of these large trees. The root systems suck all the moisture right out of the ground.
Right, and then
as
I
well.
guess what's left sort of runs
Yeah,
down.
any excess water would run to the lower level of the garden.
Right.
So the yews are good in dry shade, and the hostas are good.
And what's this one?
You want them? This one is a Peking cotton Easter.
Okay, it looks like
Or
a little,
cotoneaster
a little
something.
Oh, I've heard that, a
Cotoneaster.
cotoneaster.
It's
And
got
a little berry on it?
Yeah, little berries on it. It also has a little pink flower in the spring. And those berries will turn a purplish black for the winter time once the leaves all fall off. But
Right.
before they fall off, they turn a nice orange-red color.
Bright orange.
Yeah.
That's going to be beautiful.
So it's going to have a lot of interest right through the year. You know, it's not just spring, it'll be right through the season.
Right.
So interest in the garden. Your euonymus as well.
My anonymous.
Anonymous,
I
yeah.
love the anonymous.
Yeah. So they're very hardy. They're
Yeah.
very hardy, and they'll tolerate the dry shade.
Yeah.
Well, Christine, I think we're in trouble here.
Yeah, that's okay. Looks like a bar.
Yeah, but where are you going to put the
What
balls?
you having? Pint?
We got roots everywhere. I don't know how this is going to work.
Guess we have a dilemma.
It's a serious dilemma.
I see that.
We'll have to scratch our noodles and see what happens.
Yeah, we better think fast, eh?
Yeah, we have very little time. I haven't even started the second one.
Mm.
So can I leave you to think about this and I'll go start the second one?
Holy smokes!
Oh,
Take it
great
off,
work,
take
Christine.
it on.
I might
Yeah,
have
you
a
guys make
solution.
me work.
Well, that's what you signed up for, isn't it? I think I have a solution to our problem.
Oh.
Our disaster, should I say.
Yeah?
That goes on there. Nail, 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 nail.
Uh-huh.
This goes on here. Brace, 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 brace.
Brace, 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 brace,
And
like
we
so?
bury all this stuff in the dirt. It's got to
Okay.
be fairly level, and it'll make it a temporary bench.
Oh, that's okay.
Unfortunately, I think the proper solution would be to actually drill a hole through all that rock-hard dirt and put some concrete in. But we just do not have time, unfortunately. But that's the way it is.
Hey, Jeff, it smells woodsy.
Yeah, this is a shredded pine mulch, and it's going to keep all of the weeds from growing up and around the garden.
Uh-huh.
It also insulates the ground around each of the plants.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to put a bit of mulch in some of the potted plants as well to insulate them as well.
Oh, to keep it warm?
It'll also keep it warm and keep moisture in the pots, you know,
Oh,
so they won't
okay.
dry out as quickly. So it does a lot of things, mulch, you know. It's very important. It also, you know, it decorates the garden. It finishes
Yeah.
it off. It's kind of the icing on the cake. You know,
Oh.
it's nice and neat and clean looking once you finish your planting.
Okay.
So we got a little bit of it to spread, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's get cracking.
Yep.
So why have you chosen these ones?
Well,
Why?
to be honest, they all have something in common here, and that's they're all ground cover. And what they do is basically fill in a bed in a cheap, cost-efficient way.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we're really cutting costs, and we're doing a few things. We're keeping the weeds down. We're giving different colors of foliage, so different blooms at different times of the year. This Vancouver bearberry is absolutely gorgeous. It can get out of hand, so it does have to be pruned back. You can prune it back any way you want. This gets two blooms. You get the some color in the spring, some flowering buds, and then you get a berry. Should come out soon, you know.
Can you eat those berries?
I don't.
Are they
Go
magic
ahead.
berries?
I'll give you some. I
Okay.
wouldn't mind feeding you a few. The periwinkle is really nice as well. It's already bloomed,
Uh-huh.
but it's got a nice white flower to it. Bugleweed's got a nice purpley look to it, and they can really get invasive as well. So they have to be cut back. That's the one con with ground cover. You got to keep an eye on them, otherwise they will overtake your garden. And last, the woolly thyme. You can smell it. It actually has a nice strong.
You can smell it.
Yeah, it's not overwhelming, but it does have a nice fragrance, and that's an herb, but it's considered a ground cover as well.
Speaking of time, ours is running out. My team kicks it into high gear to finish up.
My team's smoothing out a few small details, and we'll be finished too.
Yeah, that should be enough for the kids.
Oh, yeah. They'll have a great time.
Yeah.
Jeff,
What?
I thought it was going to tone down once I finished painting it, but it's not toning down.
It's bright and sunny, don't you think?
It's neon.
The
You
kids
have
will love
neon
it.
in- The kid, yeah.
Well, you have to think like a 3-year-old.
You know, I never thought of that.
Okay.
So how do things go?
Well, I'm looking at me. I'm covered in scratches. I'm covered in dirt.
About
And
time I saw some effort. out of
where's
you,
yours?
you know?
Let me see your hands.
Well, you know, I washed my hands.
All right.
Anyway, oh,
All
look
right.
at that. Yellow paint from the neon yellow sandbox. I won't even tell you about that.
Okay.
We'll wait to be seen. Everything else, lickety-split.
Yeah?
It was like the smoothest one we've ever worked on.
Very cool. Us
That
too,
felt good?
except for Chris always, getting more complicated than he needs
That's
to.
right.
had
He
a
makes it up as he
couple
goes along.
benches. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I think they're both going to love it. I hope. We hope.
We'll find out right
Stick
after
around.
this.
Okay, another job well done. What are you thinking? What are you feeling?
Oh, I think it went very well. It came together just as I envisioned it. You know,
Yeah.
from the plan, everything went pretty smooth.
How close is what we finished to what you envisioned in the first
Almost
place?
exact. Almost exact. A
Really?
few small changes, but
Right down to the color of the sandbox?
the sandbox was planned as a bright yellow. Yeah.
Maybe not that bright.
Well, maybe not that bright, but the kids will love it, I think.
Yeah. Like Alan said, I got to think like a 3-year-old.
That's right. Yeah. Alan was just fantastic. Both Alan and Margaret.
Yeah,
Fabulous.
they really were. Lots of hard work.
Oh yeah.
Tell me about your Best Buy.
Best Buy, I think, were the pots, actually. I've seen, very expensive clay pots, ceramic pots, that type of thing, but I got these for about $20 a piece.
And they're plastic.
They are heavy resin plastic mix, yeah, so they're lightweight, they can move them around if they wish, and they winter well, so.
Right, so they're not going to crack like a clay
Nope.
pot will.
No, don't
in the
have to worry
winter.
about 'em.
Okay. In terms of where you spent your money, how much
Well-
was the plant material?
Well, the plant material, most of it was on sale, but I had a couple of specimen trees, the Japanese maple, the spiral cedar. They were, kind of feature plants. I had to pay full price for those.
Mm-hmm.
The pond, I got that probably put in for well under $200.
I got to
so.
tell you, the pond is my favorite.
Yeah.
I love it.
Water feature, I'm sorry.
Okay, so overall budget, I know you had to be on budget.
I was slightly over.
Slightly?
Slightly, yeah.
Better been really slightly.
Yeah, just a few dollars, not
Okay.
much.
I'll let you away with it then.
Okay, thanks.
Don't tell anyone.
I won't.
All right, well, I know it's time to unveil the masterpiece, so let me go make the call.
Great.
1, 2, 3. Wow!
Oh my God. Wow. Oh, look at that.
I love that.
I knew.
Aaron's going to love that.
Look at that. That's actually coming
Oh my
out.
God. That's just awesome.
It's
Okay, so I guess
unbelievable.
your ears were more sensitive than I thought, and you did pick up our little magic calming pond.
Oh, it's just
Oh, wow.
beautiful.
This is great.
You love it?
No, this
Yeah.
Lester, you've been laid back, kind of go with the flow
George.
guy all
I
weekend.
have been, and now
you,
I'm
Christine,
like,
have
I'm
not.
shaking.
I was going to ask you to really speak your mind, but
Oh, I didn't say a thing.
I'm shaking
You
right
don't have
now.
to say
I
anymore.
can't believe it. Like,
God, don't
seriously.
stop. You're going to get me crying now.
so it's all good. You're happy.
It's
Oh, we're
wonderful.
very happy.
One down, one more to go.
Yep.
We still have to reveal your sister's place.
Yeah.
We'll come back and have a good cry all together later, okay?
That's right. Let's
All
go.
Let's go.
Oh, boy.
It's been a full 2 days. I think we're both feeling a little bit loopy right now, but business at hand, time to recap everything that's happened. How do you feel about everything?
I'm really happy.
Yeah?
We really did a good job.
So tell me about some of your choices here for plants.
Well, right here, stands out right away. It's a beautiful weeping dwarf Japanese maple. It's $250. Had to put it in the budget. It's got to be the most gorgeous specimen we have. And basically, we've got a lot of winter interests.
Right.
We get the emerald cedars. That'll be nice green all year round. So it's a nice contrast against the snow. The dogwoods have nice red bark in the winter. So that's a nice contrast with the purple sand cherry.
And I noticed we spaced everything apart. Is there a reason for that? I'm assuming it'll really
It's
bloom.
really gonna, it'll bloom. I wanted the limestone and the triple mix to be a nice contrast. You see the dark soil, you see the edge of the bed, the outline.
And will that take long to really?
Yeah, the ground cover spreads pretty quick. Maybe by the end of the year they'll see, this season they'll see it really take over.
Very cool.
And they're gonna have to keep an eye on things.
Let's talk about this, the bench. It caused us a little bit of problems over the weekend, but
Yeah.
Chris and Christine really pulled through, didn't they?
They did. We haven't tipped over yet,
No?
so we're okay. We had a little trouble with all the roots, but they came up with a solution. They gave it a nice style and form, and basically they did it for $200, both benches, so it really kept us under budget.
Right, and the rest of the money you pretty well spent on
Ornamentation, yeah. It was with the soil, the limestone, and all the ornamentation, and then $200 for this. We're just under the $2,000 budget.
So you made it.
Yes, we made it.
Best Buy?
Best Buy, probably the emerald cedars, $100 each,
Yeah.
but I get a commercial discount, so it really helped out. And I'd say that was probably what I was happy with most.
All right, let's find out if the homeowners are going to be
All
happy.
right, let's go.
Let's get out of here. 1, 2, 3. Go ahead.
Oh my gosh. Look at this. Oh my.
Oh, I like
Some
that.
nice
Yeah.
spots. Oh, more plants. Oh,
Look at over there.
there. And a water feature. I mean,
nice.
she's used that water. I hid
Yes,
3-4
yes,
years.
yes.
Oh my. Looks good.
Oh.
Your sister was crying earlier.
Yeah.
Are you close? Do you have any tears?
A little bit.
A little bit?
Yeah.
So your sister put a lot of love into. We all put a lot of love into this backyard. How you feeling?
All right.
Like,
Everything's
love
good.
It,
Yeah,
love
we love it.
Yeah.
Oh.
What do you say we
Beautiful.
bring out the sister
Yeah,
and the rest
okay.
of the crew?
All
Okay.
right.
Where's everybody? There you go.
Thanks, honey.
Hey, there you go. Let them have a moment.
Let them do their thing. We have some thank yous.
Some thank yous, yes. You want to go ahead first?
Yes, I
Go ahead.
would. My
All right.
team, Jeff McCready and David Hubers, are great landscapers. And, of course, Margaret and Ellen, they did a lot of hard work.
That's right. And my team, landscaper extraordinaire, Quentin Raffensberger, Chris Pinkerton, our carpenter, and my team worked very hard.
Yeah. Another great episode. We'll see you next time.
Take care.